I've been asked many times why I sing, because it's the why that defines us. It's how we carry on. It's how we tell the world. Music paints life's pictures and is a window into the soul. It grows us. It's medicine to the wounded. It proclaims who we are and states who our God is. It can build us up and give us rest. A song is an overflow of the heart. It's showing you have thankfulness and wisdom of what Jesus has done for us. I'm Heather Smith, and this is Why I Sing.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of This Is Why I Sing. Today I'm going to be telling you about a song that I did not write, but that I did put on my third album, Sing All Believers. So, as you know by now in the series, I write most of my music. If I don't write it, then I co-write it. Most of the ideas come from me, and they're how I can minister. They're really plugged in to my ministering and trying to reach people. So a song's got to be pretty special and really line up with what our ministry about for me to pick it up and put it on an album especially. So how did I come about this song? Especially with co-writers that I've never met, actually. And this song was presented to me by a man named Sam Tate. If you've never met him or studied on any of his work, amazing, amazing writer. I got to spend a week in Nashville studying under him, learning songwriting techniques and vocal and how a song pulls you in and connects with the audience. Lots and lots of things. It was really a cram course and plugged into 1 week, and I tried to be a sponge and absorb everything I could because I knew this was a blessing and I might not ever get to do this again. So I just hung on every word that he said. I might have looked weird, I don't know, at times just staring at him, but I was really absorbing everything he was telling me. I was trying so hard, like, I gotta remember this, I gotta remember this. But one of the things that we did was he would let me listen to songs, and then he would tell me things about the songs. See how they do this. See how they do this. Do you notice this? Do you notice how the singer did this? Lots of things. And all the while, at the time, we were actually also planning to do an album project with a new label. And I kind of signed with them in hopes that I could pave the way for future Christian artists. Well, good intentions, you know, don't always solve everything. So fell apart and we didn't do it. But during that week, as we were also looking at songs to put on the album, both this song and case number 871310 were played to me. I got to listen to them and we were discussing them. Case number actually was only meant for me to hear it and to show me things in the song. But I was like, I love that song. I had tears in my eyes when I first heard it. And I was like, I'm trying not to let Reba down. She said, cowgirls don't cry. I'm trying. And it was just so touching. And I was like, you know, adoption is something that I care very much about. And I think it's very much needed, especially in our country. And it's such a huge, to me, I think it's such a huge topic, and it needs to be out there more, and it needs to be pushed more, and people need to give a voice to these children more. But I knew that I had to choose it for ministry. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, I've just been doing Bible studies. I had been doing 2 Bible studies kind of at the same time. I can't remember if I'd finished one, started one, or if I was doing them at the same time, but I had 2 Bible studies at the time. And one of them was about how we were children of God by adoption. And so I was like, this song will line right up with that. I can minister with that. I can totally see this plugging into our ministry and me using it as a tool. Would love to do it. And at the time he said, oh, well, that's actually meant for somebody else. We're just listening to it. It's like, oh, well, if they don't want to do it, I'd love to do it. The other song was With These Hands. Now it was open, and he said, I think this would be one that would fit with not only your style, your character, your personality, with you being a minister. I think this one, and loving praise and worship music, he said, I think this one would be a good fit for you. Well, whenever the label fell out and we said, okay, you know, this was not a venue or a door God wanted us to go through. So we went back and on the same course we were going. And I had been working with Larry Mars again, doing some outreach projects. And we knew, I keep telling Larry, we're like, we're going to do like a totally just praise and worship album one day. I don't know, at this point, the way we're going with like one song here or there that's like a really hardcore worship song, it might be a compilation of all the other ones. But I've been working with Larry on some outreach stuff. And I had asked him, hey, you know, what do you think about doing another album project? I have several songs. I want to get them out there. I want to get in studio and get them cut. And he's like, oh yeah, I'd love to. And before, when I had worked with Larry, it'd been kind of like, okay, Larry, I want this. Let's do this. But I had recognized Larry's creativity and just how amazing he is with music. And that everybody he brings in, all the artists, he brings in artists and musicians. He brought in Chris Golden, which is, oh my gosh, he's amazing musician, artist, singer. He does everything. And he does everything amazingly. And so to bring him in, it brings this amazing creative level that I couldn't just do on my own. And I recognize it as, this is a tool and a blessing from God. I need to honor it and be respectful of it. And I need to let other people use their tools and their gifts to help me. I don't need to be a one-woman show. So this time I was like, well, Larry, you know, maybe I should give you a little more freedom, because before I'm like, okay, we need this, and I want it by this time. And I kind of was boxing him in. And I said, okay, I'll give you more freedom to choose. And he said, okay, well, instead of just saying, let's do these songs, let's get a range of songs. And that way we have more room to play with. So I had brought him case number 871310 and With These Hands, but I said, I'm not really sure on these. I love these songs, but I'm not sure where I stand with getting to use them, because I don't know the writers. And because of the situation of not doing them before, I was like, I don't want to dishonor, I don't want to blemish anybody, I don't want to cause offense. I mean, there's just so many things, you know, I don't want to offend somebody. So I said, I'm not really sure how to go about it. I need to pray about it. Well, I had another song that we actually brought up there, and I had been pushing this song. I want this song on the album. I love this song. It is so cool. Like, it tears me up. I just love the heart behind the song. I love it. And it was a song by, I think, Randy Finch. Anyway, I ended up not doing it, because the more we discussed it, I think even Larry was for it, and thought that we could fit it into the album and into the ministry, and that I could use it as a tool. Because ultimately, when we're in there, we're thinking about, how am I going to minister to people with this? We want good quality. We want a good product out there, but ultimately it's a tool to do something that God has called me to do. And I need the best tools I can. And I don't want to start out with a broken tool. If it's usually by my own hands or doing something not lined up with God and His plans. So when we were hashing out the song by Randy, I had brought up that when the night I had heard it, another artist had walked by and said, that's my song. That's my song. I'm cutting it. And it wasn't like, oh, is that a great song? Isn't it cool? Man, it just touched my heart. No, it was like tension in the air. You could cut the air with a knife kind of thing. And Russell was the one that finally pointed out and said, we don't need to cause any offense with our ministry. That's what we're about. If that is something she is passionate about and she is really wanting to cut that song, let her cut it. It's, you know, maybe this one's not for you. Maybe it's meant for her. And, you know, we still hashed it around and ultimately we said, you know, Russell's right. And we need to be honoring and we need to be respectful. And at that moment, when we decided to cut that song, I decided that I need to be honoring and respectful to all songs, all songwriters, and all people involved. And so I knew that even though Sam had not wrote the other two songs that I was wanting, he was the one I heard the songs through. And so to try to go around him would be very disrespectful, dishonoring to him. And so I knew, you know what? I need to do this as honoring and respectful as I can. So I messaged Sam and I said, hey, you know, did anybody pick up case number 871310? I would love to do it. But also, can I do with these hands? And I think, I'm not sure if he answered me right back, and I was kind of getting nervous, like, oh man, I have to find two other songs. I just love those songs. But you know what, God, I'm at peace. So whatever happens, happens. And then finally, it was really close to before, you know, we're like, okay, this is it. This today. Do you got the yes or no? Are we cutting this or is it dropping? Are we done with it? And I think it was like the day before I got the text from Sam that said, you know what? Yeah, you can go for it. Go for it. And so I was like, yes. And then we ended up cutting it. And after we cut it, I think we were driving or flying back home. And I was like, I really hope that like it's where I can do it. It was another learning in song copyrights, and I still have to look into stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there. I highly suggest you have somebody that can lead you in the area of copywriting and using other people's copywriting and getting the correct mechanical licensing and getting all the correct licensing behind it. I do have my mechanical license and one other license for it now. I got to keep up with it. So if you're watching this and you're aspiring to become an artist and have a career in music, make sure you have all your mechanical licensing and that you've gotten all your permissions. We cut it really close with those two songs. But I did get all my licensing and stuff for them. And then I also felt like, you know what, Sam gave me the okay to do it. So I didn't go around him. I didn't feel like, you know, I didn't want to have anybody to say that I wasn't doing anything honorably. So I was really at peace that this is where God had led me to do the song. When we did it, it turned out wonderful. I was really happy, and it was one of the songs. I want to think there was a couple songs that I did that I almost got them in one take, and I was like, yeah. And then there's a couple songs that it took over and over and over. I kept thinking, what happened? I did the last one really good. I want to think this one might have been somewhere in the middle, or maybe closer to almost, you know, one take. Maybe. I think Grace has set me free. I almost did that one in one take, but it was really fun. I love our studio time. I love getting to work with Larry. I love how the guys, so far we've had all guys brought in. I don't think we've had a girl musician one yet. But I love the people he brings in and what they add to it. I'm so thankful for what God has me doing. And I really relate to songs like these. I mean, right as this came out and I heard it, I had just done a Bible study about why God gives us everything in our lives, why he gives us our hands, our feet, why he gives us our mouth, just everything. The knowledge that we have, everything is used for his honor and glory and to further his kingdom. And I know I've walked several of these lines in this song. I've walked beside a stranger as we plowed the fields of change. My work in missions, being out in ministry and helping these pastors who are, you know, I just got this church and I'm trying to to fix some things, or I'm trying to plant a church, or I'm trying to do an outreach in this community. I've traced a name in granite. I mean, me and my husband have lived that. We've walked that many times. So it's touching, and I knew it was a common ground, and I knew it was a huge ministering tool. So I'm just so thankful that so many people helped me to get this onto this album, that God is letting me work in his field, and I'm getting to walk side by side with him working, telling my story, sharing with people, and just finding common ground, finding things that we can relate to each other, and then helping them ultimately through their struggles in life. So with these hands, I will serve you, Lord. I will walk with you. I will honor and glorify you. The song is With These Hands. I was born out of the darkness, reaching for the light, trying to find my way with these hands. First I crawled and then I stumbled, but I learned to stand up tall and wipe away my tears with these hands. 'Cause with these hands I'll find forever. With these hands I'm glory bound. I can reach the highest star. I can lay my burdens down. If this life's an empty canvas, let me do the best I can to paint what love demands. With these hands, and I have played the sweetest music and pounded nails of steel and held a beggar's cup with these hands. I have walked beside a stranger as we plowed the barren fields and sowed the seeds of change with these hands. 'Cause with these hands I'll find forever. With these hands I'm glory bound. I can reach the highest star. I can lay my burdens down. If this life's an empty canvas, let me do the best I can to paint what love demands. With these hands, I have fought 1,000 battles and 100 bitter wars, and I have traced a name in granite as I tried to heal the scars. I will hold my children's children while I rock away their fears and pray for peace on earth with these hands. If this life's an empty canvas, let me do the best I can to paint what love demands. With these hands, with these hands. May God bless you, and may you do wonderful things this week and every day of your life with these hands that God has given us. God bless you.
You're the Father, Savior, Redeemer. Oh, sing all believers. I worship you who has made this heart right. I praise you for winning sin's fight. Look what the